What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Coach Taz back with another video, and in today's video we're going to do another marketer reacts video, basically centered around Sony's approach to this PS Pro thing that's been all over the gaming news circuit the last 48 hours. So I wanted to give my personal and professional opinion as a marketer in the industry, and just to possibly give everybody a different perspective on things, because there's a lot of negative feedback going on within the industry right now because of the $700 price tag associated with the PS Pro. But I want to at least provide some insightful things to think about and ponder and just reflect on as the industry continues to change and evolve, and with that evolution comes eventual price increases. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so to jump right on in, what this video is not going to be about is it's not going to be another reaction video or gaming opinion piece. If you spent longer than 5 minutes on YouTube within the last 1 to 2 days, you've probably seen all the gaming journalists, all the YouTube gaming opinionators out there voicing their concerns and their disgruntledness about the overall price tag of the PlayStation Pro, the lack of features, and just the lack of wow factor in the overall presentation. So the whole point of this video is just to give you an insider perspective as a marketer in the industry, to provide you a little bit of a different perspective moving forward in understanding why PlayStation did what they chose to do. So the first thing that I want to share with all of you today is understanding what the purpose and the goal is that Sony is trying to achieve with the PlayStation Pro. Now, disclaimer, I don't work for Sony. I've never worked on, I believe, any Sony related titles unless an indie game later dropped from Steam to PlayStation, got ported over, as far as I know, but I've never been associated with the Sony brand. I've never worked for PlayStation directly. So this is just my opinion as a marketer and just understanding market research and just the latest trends going on in the industry. Now, if we happen to perform some market research and just look at consumer trends over the past few console generations, specifically the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, we can safely look back and we confidently can say that individuals, the total gaming percentage of the market that has that current gen console that chooses to upgrade to the next mid-gen console, refresh, upgrade, whatever, is typically roughly 20 to 25% of the overall gaming market. And that is not counting the gamers that have not upgraded yet to the current gen. So the PlayStation 4 owners that are currently not upgraded to PS5, roughly market research accounts maybe around, the sales figures are a bit choppy on this, but it's roughly around 10% of those PS4 owners will upgrade to the PlayStation 5 Pro. So we have current gen PS5 owners. Market research shows that about 20 to 25% of them will choose to upgrade willfully to the PlayStation Pro. And then we have another roughly 10% of the market of PS4 owners that want to jump that generation over the PS5 into the PS5 Pro. This is what the market shows currently as of right now. Are they perfect? No, but it at least gives us a starting point so we can understand why Sony is doing what they're doing. So if we take into consideration that roughly 20 to 25% of current PS5 owners are willfully going to upgrade to the PlayStation Pro, that would account for over somewhere around 12 to 15 million units of this PlayStation 5 PlayStation 5 Pro, being sold out. And if we multiply that by that $700 price tag, not counting all the upgrades that these people are going to do with purchasing the vertical stand, potentially purchasing the external hard drive, that accounts roughly, remember, this is just a rough ballpark figure, Sony is going to be bringing in just under $10 billion worth of revenue just from these silly consoles that are being sold at $700 a pop. So once again, take into consideration too, we don't know the profit margins with every single console. That's important to understand when it comes to having these conversations. If Sony is generating roughly $8 to $10 billion off of the PlayStation Pro sales, we don't know how much is being deducted off of that due to overhead and labor costs and things like that. We don't know know the overall profit margins for every single console being sold. Now, it's basically become public knowledge that most hardware and console sales is sold at a loss, with gaming companies hoping and praying that they make up those sales figures through accessory sales and software sales. But once again, just to add in another perspective on this, don't forget the sales numbers attached. Everybody in these gaming YouTube videos are like, why is Sony doing this? Why did they jump to $700? It's because they can. We've seen Sony over the years increase prices on everything, from their games to their hardware to their accessories and everything in between. We know Sony isn't afraid to increase their prices. Throughout history, we've seen it with the diehard PlayStation fans, and this is not a personal attack. Everybody is allowed to spend their money however way they personally see fit. That's none of my business, that's none of your business, but we've seen it with the PlayStation fan base being as passionate as they are. When Sony increases prices, majority of the time, just a few days, few weeks goes by of people complaining, and then just right on track, PlayStation fans go and buy the accessories, they buy the games at $70 a pop, they buy these controllers at $60, $70, $80 a pop. Like, they just don't care. They just want to play their great games that Sony constantly releases. And that's okay. You know, you might have a problem with that, but in the business world, as a marketing director, as someone that's done marketing in the gaming industry and a variety of other service-based and product-based businesses, if I know that there's a large consumer base that is willing to buy my product or service despite it being at a premium price, I'm going to be perfectly okay with increasing my profit margins and selling it to you, because you as the consumer are telling me that it's okay for me to do that. We always vote with our wallets. If you don't like the price tag, don't buy the product. But when the product continues to sell and prices continue to increase because these corporations know that they have that large fan base willing to buy whatever it is, don't be surprised by it. Now, the second and last point that I want to make in this video and provide us with a whole bunch of clarity moving into the next console generation is we have to understand what Sony is doing and what they've done in the past, especially with the PlayStation 3. Like, history gives clues, success leaves clues. Those are some quotes I've lived by my entire professional career. And we have to understand Sony is testing the waters right now. We've never seen console prices go down before. Like, they typically, because of inflation and just the cost of living and the cost of production and everything like that, the cost on everything around us is constantly going up. They rarely go down, especially in the gaming space. So we've seen consoles that went from $200 to $3 to $4 to $5 to $6, and now Sony is introducing this mind-boggling price point of $700 for no vertical stand and no external hard drive. But they are testing the waters right now. They are looking to see what consumers do so they know what to do when it comes time to release the PlayStation 6. And Xbox is watching this, Nintendo's watching this, everybody in the world is watching this. It's just a lot of day-to-day gamers, casual gamers, just consumers of YouTube gaming content. We don't understand this unless you're directly involved in the business side of things. A lot of the times in the marketing world, in the business world, we perform user research, we perform market research, we test the waters, we see what we're able to do with our products or services, we see the backlash or the positive or the pros and cons associated with everything our corporations do. Now, we can safely look back, save this video, timestamp it, do whatever you got to do. 4 years from now, we should all look back on this video. Sony is testing if the PlayStation Pro sells well according to their own KPIs and their own metrics that they have in-house. If this sells well and it causes a significant boost to their overall revenue, then they will see that it is okay to sell consoles at a minimum of a $700 price point. So I'm warning everybody right now, if you do not want to pay $700 for a console, regardless if it's the Switch 2, Switch 3, Xbox, XYZ, the PlayStation 6, 7, if you do not want these prices to increase on these consoles, then make sure you're always voting with your wallet. Make sure you do not buy it. And guys, listen, I love having the flashy new things too, but we've seen it with the PlayStation 4. We've seen it with the last gen Xbox. Like, these companies are trying to boost their revenue. They're releasing these next gen games, these newer games on old hardware, so you're not really missing out on anything. If this console generation has revealed anything to us, it's don't rush out to buy the new consoles. Don't rush out to spend our money, because we're not getting a whole lot in return of our investment, y'all. If I'm just being frank, like, I dare anybody to challenge me on this. I just dropped over $500 for my Xbox, and within 2020, 2021, Xbox barely released any games. Like, that's been the sticking point for Xbox for years. So all this just to say, make sure you always remember to vote with your wallet and watch as the market shifts. Xbox is going to be doing this. PlayStation is doing this now. They are testing out the waters to see what consumers say yes to. If you say yes to the $700 price tag, don't be surprised that the consoles all go up in price over the next 4 to 8 years. So this is just my warning to you as someone that's in the industry, that's been in business for over almost 2 decades now. This is how the business world works. So I'm warning all of you here. So hopefully this video was useful to you. If you did find it insightful, if you liked it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, boost that algorithm up. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, y'all. So do whatever you got to do. Let's get us over the 1,000 mark. And until next time, y'all, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.